I am a large consumer of digital media. I love watching my silly YouTube videos, watch TV, explore web pages, and even play video games. What's nice is that some of these services are free to use, but some of them I still have to pay for. No matter what, though, every single one of these are riddled with our favorite ads. Ads are literally everywhere. I feel like I can't go anywhere without looking at an ad. Even if I get off the internet and go touch some grass, I will still run into an ad. I'll see an ad on a bench, and then I'll see an ad to put an ad on the bench. Advertisements are a win-win scenario for businesses. Companies spread awareness of their products, and for the ad hosts, they get a lot of money without directly charging the consumer. However, I feel that advertisements have gotten way overdone to the point where ads negatively impact the consumer experience, at least in the United States. We aren't in an adpocalypse. It's Admageddon. Advertisements are useful in some cases, since as I said before, it's an alternative to charging the consumer directly. This is how YouTube works. YouTube is a free video streaming platform where anyone can publish videos and anyone can come watch. YouTube being free and accessible is what made it so special, so it wouldn't make sense to charge people to use it, especially since anyone can post there. So there is no guaranteed quality for what you are paying for. YouTube funds itself by playing ads before, during, or after a video. YouTube's ads could be skipped, and the only ones that were unskippable were only like 5 seconds long. However, as YouTube grew, they started to see how many ads they could truly get in, so they could get more money. They started allowing longer ads, made more of them unskippable, and even started playing two ads during a segment. Ads are disruptions from the content that you are consuming, so by doing this, they are actively disrupting you more often, which will make your experience worse. How do you remedy this? Well, you could use an ad blocker on your computer or mobile device. However, this makes YouTube less money. So they made it so you can't use an ad blocker on the website and say that if you want to get rid of the ads, you can pay them a set price monthly for YouTube Premium. YouTube is purposely making your experience worse and then trying to get you to spend money to fix it. They are literally creating the problem and then selling the solution right back to you. Now, you might say that all of this is justified since YouTube creators get paid through some of the money that YouTube gets from these ads. Well, yes, you are right. However, they don't get enough since most creators nowadays get brand deals. Do you know what that means? That means that there are also ads ingrained into the very YouTube video you are watching. Yup, even if YouTube got rid of all of the ads on their platform, you would still have to deal with ads from the creators themselves. Now, don't mistake my frustration for not supporting creators. I don't mind YouTubers having sponsorships within their videos. YouTubers are typically just one or a small group of people trying to make a living doing what they love, so I'm okay with them getting sponsorships. What's great about creator ads is that their ads are completely skippable. Always. Also, some creators actually go out of their way to make the ad breaks entertaining so it doesn't feel like your experience is being disrupted. I will admit, if I was ever offered a brand deal, I would totally be a hypocrite and put an ad in my YouTube video. Speaking of, this video is sponsored by me. Please help me get monetized. Please. I'm so greedy. I just love money. So YouTubers, I'm not talking about you. Unless you're promoting scams, then I might have a problem with you. Overall, the experience on YouTube is the worst it has ever been due to the state of the ads on the platform. Watching YouTube on a TV is almost unbearable. Since phones and computers have easy access to ad blocks, YouTube tries to make the ad experience the least annoying so that people aren't incentivized to use them. However, on TV, people aren't booting up ad blockers most likely, so they will shove every single ad that they can. As you can see here in this little ad break on my TV, instead of a skip button, there is a next button, which pretty much just lets me skip to the next ad. No, I want to skip every ad. Also, I was watching a 1.5 hour long video essay, and in that video essay, I literally got two ad breaks in the span of 10 minutes. This is so freaking stupid. Twitch, the popular streaming website, is another example of a free website that has ads. However, I'd argue that ads on Twitch are even more disruptive to the experience as you are literally missing content instead of just delaying you seeing it. Streamers barely make any money from ads at all anyways. What's nice though is that streamers have more control over how often ads play in their streams and can make the choice to pause when they know an ad break is coming on so that no one misses the action. Also, the methods to avoid ads, like subscribing, actually do help creators a lot more. However, if ads are shown less often, that just means that the individual ad breaks are longer. If you want the ad breaks to be shorter, you have to make them happen more often, which kind of sucks. Also, pre-roll ads are horrible. If a stream has pre-roll ads on, then you could possibly hit multiple ad breaks if you jump around to multiple streams quickly. Now, I've complained about this before, and I actually had someone say to me that I'm the problem since I was jumping around, which I guess to small streamers is rude. Dude, you just didn't entertain me, and that's okay. You're telling me that if I want to avoid ads, I gotta sit through content I'm not enjoying or spend money. That system is kinda shitty. These free to use services are just getting more greedy and will find any reason to shove an ad into your face. They don't really care about interrupting your experience as long as they get paid. Companies are willing to even shape the entire premise of a service in order to get paid more money, like with streaming services. Do you remember when streaming services were first coming out? I remember when Netflix was first getting some traction. Imagine a place where you could pay a small fee every month and get access to a ton of different shows and movies in one place on demand whenever you want. And also, without ads. The main place people would get their shows and movies at home was through cable. Cable, however, is kind of flawed. You have to pay just to get access to the channels, and since the companies running the channels didn't get access to that money, they would have to show commercials in order to get their income. So you were still paying and getting ads. Also, everything was on a schedule. Sure, there was on demand and you could record things to watch later, but you don't have an extensive library to access whenever you want. The only reason I'd get cable today is for sports, but then again, I don't watch them often, so I've never felt like I needed to get cable. Streaming services got popular, especially during the pandemic, since everyone was inside and all you could really do was watch movies or shows. I mean, I wasn't doing that. I was trying to get the RK5 on Black Ops 3 Zombies. I would argue that the pandemic is where the downfall of streaming services started, and that was because more media companies realized the potential earnings a streaming service can offer. So, a lot of different companies that previously had their content on another service like Netflix would take off their content from those services and put it on their own streaming service. Do you know what this sounds like? With more streaming services coming out and with libraries that are more exclusive to originals, it's kind of sounding like you're paying for cable, but now you have to buy every channel separately. Now, instead of paying a small fee every month for one service, you are now forced to pay several small fees a month just because that one show you wanted to watch got moved over to Paramount Plus of all fucking places. So now you gotta cough up even more money because you were already paying for HBO, Hulu, Disney Plus, and Netflix. However, you could say that having to buy multiple services is fine since you are just expanding your library even more. I mean, it's not like there are ads on them, right? Right? No, streaming services have recently had the fucking audacity to charge you for their service and still show you ads. Albeit, this only happens if you pay for the tier that includes ads. However, let me give you an example. Amazon Prime, a subscription that gives you very fast deliveries on products, was seen as a steal since it came with other things too, like the Amazon Prime video streaming service, Prime Gaming, Prime Music, Grubhub. Wait, what the fuck? Grubhub? You might think that this is all good, too good to be true. I mean, all this stuff bundled into one subscription. And I mean, I guess Amazon thought the same thing since over time they have kept increasing the price. But they have also decided to put ads on Prime Video. Just because they can. If you want to go back to the previous experience you were having, well, you're going to have to cough up a couple extra dollars. This is literally the example of creating a problem and then selling the solution, just like YouTube, but this is for a service that I was already paying for. Every other major streaming service has started doing this now. Literally, why? Oh, it's so that they can offer a cheaper tier and make their platforms more accessible. You know how to make your platform more accessible? Make it fucking free. I mean, look at Tubi. That's what they're doing, and they seem perfectly fine. People fucking love Tubi. The whole point of showing people ads is that it is the alternative to charging the consumer directly. But no, these companies are now double dipping just so that they can maximize profit. Not only that, they are also increasing their subscription prices on top of that. Literally, fuck the consumer at this point. These media companies have found a way to get rid of the middleman, the cable companies, so now they can get their money from both sides of the aisle. You can't have your cake and eat it too without fucking someone over here. And in this case, the person is you, the one who is using the service. At this point, streaming services are worse than cable. If you want to get the old experience that you swapped from cable for, you have to shell out even more money than you used to, and there really isn't even a good reason for it. Does anyone actually enjoy watching an ad? The only time I ever see ads that I've thought were decent are during the Super Bowl, and the only reason for that is because it costs like millions of dollars for like 2 seconds, so these companies actually try. Most of the ads on YouTube are either slop or actual scams, and yes, that also includes the ones made by content creators. The only ads I really find entertaining are ads for drugs, since they always have the same formula. Yes, take this drug to cure your disease. Side effects include 15 other unrelated diseases, and some of them are even worse than the original disease that you were trying to deal with, and maybe also death. I mean, the fucking disclaimers for them are longer than the actual ad itself, and it's hilarious because these people are being dead ass. Maybe I'd care more about your ad if it was entertaining, but then again, I'm already mad at you because you're disrupting my show. I don't need to talk about pop up ads, right? We already know in the big 2025 why those suck. Cool? Thank you. At the end of the day, the reason for the increase of advertisements, I believe, is just down to pure human greed. I could honestly trace back every problem to greed. I consider it the worst of the seven deadly sins at this point, since I see its effects at a large scale. Unfortunately, ads are the method of greed for a lot of digital media companies, and so now advertisements have been ruined for me. Honestly, if I see an ad for your product, I'm less likely going to buy it, cause fuck you for being a part of the reason why my content is being disrupted. I could not care less anymore for advertisements. The solutions to these are simple. Create quality products and more people are going to want to use them. You don't have to purposely worsen the user experience just so that you can get some extra dollars. Soon enough, all of these different services will be unbearable to use anymore, and no one is going to be willing to pay for them.